Welcome to the October 27, 2008 edition of massapequaNEWS.com. I'm Christine Sommer, and this is our New York State Assemblyman, Joseph Saladino. Welcome.
Thanks. It's a pleasure to be here.
Joe, tell me what it means to be our Assemblyman.
Okay, well, what I do, for the most part, is I create state law and I vote on legislation in the Capitol in Albany. I also work closely with our state senators, great people like Senate Majority Leader Dean Skelos, Senator Kemp Hannon, Senator Chuck Fischillo, Senator Carl Marcelino. And what we do is advocate for Long Island. I've worked to create laws to protect women and children from sexual predators, to protect taxpayers, which frankly is the most important one of all these days,
yes,
and to protect our environment. We've brought more state aid, record amounts of state aid, and we have a plan called the Property Taxpayers Protection Act, which I have drafted and I sponsor to make a big dent in these outrageously high taxes that have overburdened Long Islanders. I also fully support the Senate Republican plan to shift the cost of paying for education entirely from homeowners and shift it entirely to the New York State budget. So homeowners would no longer pay school taxes. That would be paid out of the state budget, which is already covered by your state income tax and therefore addresses your ability to pay.
I understand that securing our school aid is definitely one of the greatest challenges that you face. But you and I discussed early on that this is your chosen position because you get to make an impact on protecting our environment and our women and children from sexual predators. So can we talk first about the environment and then about sexual predators?
I sit on the Environmental Conservation Committee, and we have protected groundwater. We have created a lot of bills and tax incentives to protect groundwater, protect our open waters, protect wetlands, protect animals, and in general keep our drinking water very, very clean so we protect our stream from chemicals and things of that nature. I also have worked to make a difference in finding a safe balance to keep businesses here on Long Island. You can be the most environmentally conscious person, but if you don't address it in a way that also promotes businesses and keeps them here on Long Island, great jobs go, and with that go a whole generation of young people.
Let's touch upon how we can protect our women and children from sexual predators, especially in this day and age with the internet.
Yes, that's the number one issue that I also fight for from day one. I helped to draft and fought for the version of the civil confinement law, which passed into law. I'm very proud of that. And now women and children are protected from the most violent sexual predators as we try to put them away for life. We also have lifted the statute of limitations on rape. We have also created many measures like a DNA database for the whole state, and I've drafted new legislation called luring a child on the internet, which is punishable by 20 to 25 years in prison for people who would try to lure children for predatory reasons over the internet.
Let's talk about your family structure, because I'm told you are a fourth-generation Massapequan.
My family has been here in Massapequa. My grandparents came out in 1920, and then a lot cost $5. So I've been here my whole life. I went to school here. I played ice hockey and football, and I've enjoyed so much of this community, and now I've been giving back. I worked for 20 years as a volunteer with the Kiwanis Club and many different organizations in the community to give back, and that combined with bringing record amounts of state aid for these past 5 years is the reason I was inducted recently into the Massapequa High School Hall of Fame, which I'm so proud of and very appreciative to all those people who voted for me into the Hall of Fame.
Congratulations.
Thank
it's
you.
Not an easy task to be inducted into the Massapequa Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
So it's definitely an honor. Joe, do you want to talk a little bit about your early work experience in government administration?
I've worked for 9 years with the town of Hempstead, 7 years with the town of West Bay, and now I've been an assemblyman for 5 years. I also work with a civil engineering and environmental engineering firm, and this is why we promote renewable energies, flex fuels, hydrogen power, solar energy, all the things that will bring down the cost of energy and also protect the environment at the same time. So to sum up my experience and my focus, it's protecting taxpayers, protecting the environment, making it affordable to live here, and protecting women and children from sexual predators. That's where I focus, and we've been very successful in each of those categories, and that's so important, especially keeping Long Island affordable, shifting the cost of education away from property taxpayers onto the state budget, and doing everything possible to provide a lot of good jobs here so a whole generation of highly educated, very bright young people can get the Long Island dream and own a home here and raise their family and work right here on Long Island.
Let's talk about the next generation of Massapequans. What advice would you offer youth that was potentially inspired by your words, maybe wanting to become an elected official one day?
Well, I think most importantly, one should never let any obstacle get in your way. Education is extremely important, and try new things. Try as many types of jobs as possible to find out what you enjoy, because if you enjoy it, you're going to be great at it. I love my job. I thank the people who have elected me, and I hope they'll elect me again this November. And I also want to take a moment to say it's so important to also reward our Republican senators like Chuck Fischillo, Kemp Hannon, Dean Skelos, Carl Marcelino, and all the Suffolk County Republican senators, because these state senators are the people that we work with to provide all these good things for Long Island. So it's time to reward them, and I hope everybody makes a point to get out on November 4th and vote for myself and vote for my colleagues, our Republican senators in the state Senate and the state Assembly, so that we can continue to do good work, and I so appreciate your support.
When you're not in Albany, where can you be found?
I get out to every event possible. We brought thousands and thousands of dollars in state grants to the sports groups in the Massapequa community, to the civic associations, to all the different groups, the Village of Massapequa Park, the town of Oyster Bay. We helped to fund the Music Under the Stars concert series. All those grants help me to reach out to the community, and then I go to visit these organizations at every possible moment to listen to you, the public, find out what's on your mind and how I can better help and serve this community. I think it's very important to be accessible and extremely important to listen carefully so that we can formulate good, solid, sustainable legislation to keep people living here and keep it affordable and keep our environment clean.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much. One last question before we go.
Yes.
If you could select anyone from history that you would like to have dinner with, who would you select?
Good question. So many choices. I would love to have dinner with Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt was from the town of Oyster Bay, and his first position in elected office was as a New York State Assemblyman. So I'd ask him so many questions. He's an outdoorsman like myself. He loves the environment. So there are so many similarities. I would ask him about the way he protected the environment and the way he served Long Island and New York, both as a New York State Assemblyman and as President of the United States. I think that would be fascinating.
Absolutely. Assemblyman Saladino, thank you very much. Massapequans, find Assemblyman Saladino on the political page, and don't forget to come out and vote on Tuesday, November 4th.